My dudes, this is Math Time with Mr. G, and today we're going to study for our Topic 7 test. So, if they ask us to label a coordinate plane is where two lines intersect. This is my positive y-axis. This is my negative y-axis. Positive x, negative x, and this is my origin. If they give us the graph and they want the equation, it is y equals, it has to be a fraction, right? X, and then I say, where does it cross the y-axis? So for me, it crosses at 3. So plus 3. I can use these dots if I want. I can ignore them and then count up from my y-axis. But if I want to use these dots, I just read from left to right until I see my first dot. From here to this one, I'm going up. So it's going to be positive. And then I just count how much up I did. So from negative 1 to positive 1, that's up 1, 2. Then I count how far over did we go. We went over 1, 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then 1 times x is just x. So while all three of these mean the same thing, this is the most correct answer. If they asked us to graph, this has start by going down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has to go down 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line through my 2 dots using my whole area and arrows. For this one, they didn't give us a number in front of x, so I have to do 1. And since there has to be a fraction, it's 1 over 1. So it says count down 2. From there, count up 1 over 1. So there's my second dot, line through, and arrows. If it's just y, it can only cross the y-axis. So I go to the y-axis at negative 1, and I draw a line that goes through negative 1, but in a way that never crosses the x-axis. If it's just x, this is the weird one, where I go to the x-axis first, and I go to the x-axis 1, 2, 3, 4, and a line straight up and down, never crossing the y-axis because there's no y in the equation. If they give us a table and they want us to know what the equation is, I first start by finding my slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So number of fish that go by versus minutes. So minutes is kind of a little bit more controlling than fish. I can't force fish to appear. I can count however minutes go by. So this is going to be my x, and this is going to be my y term. So y2 minus y1 is 7. And then x2 minus x1 is 3. So my slope for this equation is 7 over 3. So y is equal to 7 over 3x. So the only thing we have to find is b. To find b, if we want to follow the pattern, we can do that strategy and just say minus 7 minus 3. And then say, here's where x is 0. What does y equal? And be done. But if it's a big table and we have to go all the way down, we can say y is 7/3 x plus b. And from the table, they said that the first y on the table was 14. And the first x on the table was 3. Multiply. Divide. And then 7 plus b equals 14. So if I subtract this 7 over, I get that b is 7. And then I put these two together to find that y is 7/3 x plus 7. Other than that, be kind to one another, ask lots of questions, and think deeply.